Hello students. Just wanted to have a follow-up introductory video about awk. As you know, awk is an amazingly versatile and a very complex data processing scripting language. In fact, if you look up on Canvas, I've put up the book and a link to the YouTube video that was written by Königin, one of the originators of Linux, along with Richie. And awk is about 35 or 40 years old, but it's amazingly powerful and it can be done on the command line. And it can give you some of the features that, things like the modern databases do, or even some of the data science fields offer now, but it offered all of those features about 40 years ago, and it is still used now. It's very concise. You can do on one line what would need maybe a whole program in Python to do. So it is very, very powerful. Now, I'd just like to show you some of the power and outline how it works. So I'm on the command line here, and so what I have here is a file called sample.txt. And this is just a very simple file that I've created. It has fictitious names of fictitious students. It's got a student ID, and it's got the grade. Now, if you can just look a little deeply into this file, you will see that there are 4 fields of information. The first field of information is, I'm just trying to see if I can get a pointer, but it's not available. The first field is the first name. The second field is the last name, and then there's a student ID in the third field, and then there's a grade. And each row of information contains all these 4 fields, so we can see them as 4 columns of information. And this is how awk will process. So first of all, let's see how we can get awk to do something like what the cat and the more commands do. So I'm going to say awk, and awk, the command awk has 2 parts. One is a pattern, and the other is an action. Right? For now, what we're going to do is to keep it very simple and say everything that the awk command, the action that it needs to do, is going to be put starting with a single quotation and enclosed in the curly brackets. So I'm just going to say, can you please print, right? Can you please print? And I'm going to say print $0, and then I'm going to close this. And now you will see that I need to give the file name. So let's go back and do that. Awk print, what to print is sample.txt. So it has gone ahead and printed sample.txt. Now, if I would like to isolate and print some columns from here, what I can say here is each of these fields, this is the first one. So this is this is $1, $2, $3, and $4. $0 means print everything, which we just did. So now I'm going to say, can you only print for us the second field, and can you only print for us the grades? So this is $2 and $4, and as you can see, it's only printed for us the second one. So the last name followed by the grade. And so it is possible for us to put numbers here that correspond to the column numbers, and it will pick and process. Now, one thing that you can do is you can also send the output to just like we do for other commands, we can send the output to another file, and I can say o.txt, send this there. And then if you do o.txt, when we can actually save this information here. grep, you know that we can use regex for pattern matching. So one thing that I could do is I could absolutely look for those students that have scored a grade greater than 70. So let's see how to do that, and I'm going to do awk, and I'm going to say here, I can use an if statement, which is a condition statement, and say if $4 is greater than 70, then print. But now I have to put everything here. I can do that and say print $1 and $2. Only those, and let me add $4 as well. Let me only pick those students that have got greater than 70. And now you see it's picked Anna Jones and all of that. I can format my output a little nicely by saying, can you please put a tab so I can get this information in a tabular form, and use tab as a separator here. And so I've got a \t. And now let's see what this looks like. Now you see I've got a very clean and nice output. One thing I can also do is I can look for, so let's create here, let's insert some commas. And the reason why I'm inserting comma is because you know that in Excel, we can have a lot of information is available to us on the internet or in business. And a lot of that is stored as Excel in Excel form. And you know that Excel can be downloaded as a CSV file. And here, what we can do is we can process, awk can process delimiters. And here I can, now I've got a CSV-like file. All right, so CSV, so now we can use awk on CSV files, and we know we've got a lot of data in the CSV files, and we can simply do something like awk -f and say our file has got a comma delimiter, and I would like to print all of those if the third column now, not the fourth column, because now we've separated with commas, is less than, I'd like to know which students have got less than 70, then print the names, the first name and last name. So because first name and last name came under the same field, and then here print the first name and last name, and simply also print number 2, separate that with a tab, and print 3. So basically print everything, but print it out in a pretty way using the tab, $3, and then I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to say sample.txt. All right, I think a quotation mark was missing there. Right here, let me insert that, and hopefully it should work. Now it's given the names of all of those students that have got less than 70%. So this is great because we have so much of data on the internet. We can pull it down, and by a simple single line awk command or an opt script, we can process this. Now, the other thing that we can also do is we can put our awk command, for example, this -f comma and all of that stuff, we can put it in a script file and feed that file to awk. So for example, we would say awk script, run the script on sample.txt, and it would be able to pull up the file. So we don't have to type in all these complicated commands on the same line. We can have multiple, and you may have guessed that if there is an if, then there's going to be a lot of other commands as well, programming like commands. Because awk is also a scripting language, we can use for to repeat statements, and we can even do things like functions and stuff like that. So just like a simple example of how we can use functions is I can print $3. Instead of printing $3, I can print integer convert this to, we can cast it to integer by using int here, the keyword int, and then it will just give us these grades.